I'm Cynthia Petrigh. I've been working for more than 20 years in the humanitarian field, in human rights, peace and security, and I'm the founder of Beyond Peace. I've been working for more than 20 years in this field, and I have witnessed several developments, including a growth in the size of the business in terms of budget, of number of actors, and also a growth in professionalization of most of the actors. But as a recent MSF report states, there are still a lot of internal and external challenges for our sector, and I think World Humanitarian Day is a good time to reflect on these. I think we are facing a major crisis in humanitarian assistance and protection. The scandal of ongoing limitation to access in Syria, the challenge posed to IHL by the use of new weapons like the drones, cannot leave us continue our work as usual. It's not as usual. We have major constraints, major challenges, and how are we reacting to these? I think it's probably about time we, as humanitarian actors, set some minimal operating standards that allow us to work safely in an impartial way, and this includes humanitarian access. And perhaps we should agree on these and communicate, advocate about this in our conversations with donors and with host countries. I think it is a very rewarding job. It's obviously not only a job, it's about meeting exceptional people. It's about making a difference. Of course, we have a difficult life. We sometimes risk our lives. We don't have a stable income. It's sometimes a challenge for our private life, but it's very rewarding because sometimes we feel we can make a difference. Even if you have improved the lives of 10 families, I think that's a big contribution you can do and a big it makes sense for your life. I think perhaps in this sector, even more than in others, individuals can make a difference more than big machines. Because, you know, there is this saying that goes, he didn't know it's impossible, so he did it. And I think individuals can have dreams and can achieve them, where sometimes a big structure can say, it's not possible to do this, or we don't have the resources, or it's politically complicated. As an individual, sometimes we are crazy enough to push the limits, and together with the big machines, we can make it work. I will give an example. I was recently deployed to Mali. I was the only civilian in a mission of 600 plus military staff, and I trained half of the Malian armed forces on human rights, IHL, and prevention of sexual violence. I trained not only half of the Malian armed forces, I also brought some changes and improvements in the European training contingents with, helping them systematize, have more consistency across the EU, and have more respect for human rights norms. As an individual, you sometimes are crazy enough to push the limits and make this happen. Sometimes it's more difficult for a big organization. So I think that's about humanitarian work. It's all of us working together with some individual pushing the limits and then some big organizations who are also needed.